Hi, ho everyone. My name's Mr. Fruit, and welcome back to the GG Over Easy podcast, episode 174. In today's episode, we discuss the rumors, the rumbling of the brand new, potentially Counter-Strike Source 2. Rob goes deep. He's got his theories.
A lot of theories.
We discuss pretty much spoiler-free.
Maybe touch on a little spoilers.
Rob, maybe like a word or two that might.
Line.
Yeah. So if you're worried about any spoilers, maybe
I walk a tight line. I will say.
Yeah, maybe skip that part. There's nothing explicit, but enough where maybe you'll be like, wait.
Yeah, kind of.
But we discussed the show a little bit, our thoughts now that the series has ended. A little bit about the brand new Mandalorian season on the other end of that. Now that it's come out, and a couple episodes in, we discuss brand new streamer-made games. Shroud announced that he'll be making his own shooter game. We discuss what that might look like, who he's partnering with, thoughts on that as a whole, questions and answers, and much more, the usual. So thank you very much for listening and or watching wherever you do so. Thanks for supporting us. Stay tuned. Let's get into it.
Bum, bum, bum. This week's public service announcement, Manscaped now has beard products and is going even further with their brand new Weed Whacker 2.0. Go ahead and tell the world the leaders in below-the-waist grooming are traveling north of your South Pole with their revolutionary grooming products. The new Weed Whacker 2.0 and their new beard line confirms that they have all the best tools for your hygiene toolbox. Time for you to upgrade with your game by going to manscaped.com and using code GG to get 20% off plus free shipping. The Weed Whacker 2.0 got my nose feeling just right. Look at that. You can't even see nose hairs anymore. So get 20% off and free shipping with the code GG at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and using code GG. Always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. All right, this is the one I've been waiting for. Today's episode is brought to you by True Classic. Do you guys remember that shirt I was wearing, that like blue and Mr. Fruit, like, wow, Rob, you really looked jacked. And I was like really blushing and stuff like that. And they thought I was trying to show off my muscles. That was just a True Classic tee. And that this is what this ad is for. So this is, remember that episode when I wore that True Classic tee and everybody was saying how jacked I looked? And that was totally not a coincidence. They totally did not know I was actually wearing a True Classic tee. This is your one-stop shop for all your wardrobe and essentials. Their shirts have premium fit that are tighter in the shoulders and biceps for the extra boost of confidence. Remember, like they said, my arms looked huge? Well, they didn't. It was just fitted for me perfectly. We have an exclusive deal for you guys. We want to hook you up with some True Classic. For a limited time only, get 25% off with our code GG at trueclassic.com. True Classic is built and designed for a man's body, so no matter what product you buy, you can feel confident that you'll get a premium fit that's consistent across all types. Get comfortable, get going, and upgrade your wardrobe with True Classic. Get 25% off at trueclassic.com with the code GG. Free shipping is included over purchases over $100, 100% risk-free guarantee with 30% return policy. You can't go wrong. It looks good and feel good season.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the GG Over Easy podcast, episode 174. In today's episode, we're going to do what you do on a podcast. Talk. Wow. Crazy.
That is what you do, right?
At least that's what I've been told.
Right? You burp into a mic, too.
Those sneak up on me, man. Well, it's not like it's a warning. It's not like my body being like, hey, you might have to fart. My burps are just like, oh, it's a blah. Like it's like throw up. It just comes out of nowhere.
As long as you don't belch.
The thing that always throws me off is you're always talking about how like you get a fight or flight response to like burping, and then like you just do it. Like you do it a lot. You do it more than any of us actually. Just let it rip.
Well, that's a whole thing, but it's literally called misophonia. You can look it up. I don't know why certain things get triggered certain ways. And again, trust me, I don't want to be that guy. But again, it's literally just like I'll be. It's not like a. Oh, hold on, guys. I gotta burp. Like just right there, it was just like an eruption. I don't like to be that guy. I try, trust me, but it's like it's a struggle. Okay.
It could be worse.
I get it. Could be worse.
Just don't belch into the mic. You know, that's where I like draw a line. You know, my sister used to like belch and shit, and like that is just not cool with me. That was like when Sydney and I first started dating, you know, when you first start dating somebody, everybody knows you go through it. What's the first thing you do after you go on a first date with somebody and you part ways? You fart,
and
all right?
fart
You fart, all right?
and let it rip.
Because that whole time you are holding it in, and it is like
everything hurts.
It's like, oh, it hurts. It is just like the worst thing. So when like Sydney and I started dating, one of the first things I just did was fart really loud, and
and then she's like, "Wait, I forgot something." You're like, "Stay back."
I mean, Sydney doesn't. Hey, I just want everybody to know, Sydney doesn't fart, but I would allow her.
Women don't. What do you mean?
Yeah, but if she,
women fart?
No.
So that was always kind of like the one thing. But like one time she like a really like loud burp, and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna let you know, like I have like a burp is okay. There's a difference for me between like a burp and a belch. You know?
Oh yeah, I get it.
There is like a dip. You know, my sister would be like, you know, like literally like that is disgusting.
Exercising the devil.
Amplifying it on
yeah,
purpose.
like just like at the dinner, I just no belching, but I'd rather have a crunchy fart than a big old belch. So that was like one of the first things.
I'm in the same. I would say I'm in the same.
We're a farting family here.
Farts are pretty normal for me, and I'm chill with farts because it's like, hey, I don't want anyone holding in something that comes out their ass. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, I could definitely say like, see, for me, it's not belches. For me, it's not normal burps. For me, it's like those really low, like it sounds like you're gonna throw up burps. I can't do wet burps. Wet burps make me cringe.
Bro, speaking of gross things, I was watching my nephews this week, and
kids gross, hate him.
He's like a year and a half, I think. I don't know. But he like pooped, and when I'm just thinking about it makes me want to like it. I'm not kidding you guys. I think it was like the worst smell I think I've ever smelled in the world.
Dude,
ever.
baby poop.
Like I don't know how parents do it. Like
beyond.
Like I thought having a cat was hard. You know, like I thought having a cat was difficult.
Oh,
this, like it was like. It just didn't like smell it like you know when you smell something it goes like through the you know and then like through here. This like I smell and it like went through every orifice in my body, like every little hole in my skin. It like it was so
it like intrudes on the very biology
and
of
so
who
like
we are. It's gross.
And so Sydney being the queen that she is like
ate it.
It's not like your kid, so like I'll do it. Like so I'm like, oh thank like you're the best. I'm not like I won't do my kid. I will do my kid. I will like if I ever have a child, I will do his diaper. I'm not gonna do anybody else's kid. Okay, I'm sorry. I will. And that was like one of the things I said when I was like,
sign up
if
for
he
that,
poops, you're changed. I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not. I won't. Because I gag feeding my cats. You know, like their food stink. Like, and when I say it was like the most, like I'm like Tanjiro. Okay, I got the smell. Like I was like baby poop. Like you know, he smells demons. I smell baby poop from a mile away. So like I had to like hold the bag like while she was like, can you hand me the trash can? I was like, I'm not putting baby poop in my trash can. Like my trash can has like standards, all right? It's not having baby poop put in it. So I had to put it. I put 2 trash bags. I put like one in a trash bag, flapped it out, and was like, and then I like wrapped it and then put it in another. So I had 3 trash bags with 1 diaper in it and threw it away.
Need all that protection.
I didn't want any of that seeping through. It is like literally the most it was like I think my first time ever smelling legit like a baby poop, and it was literally like the most gross thing ever.
Babe, I'm gonna.
I'm serious. I'm serious. It was awful.
That reminds me of Claire showed me this TikTok a little while ago, but it was like footage from like a ring or something they had in like their living room, but this mom's downstairs with like all the kids. She's like trying to juggle or something, and a lot of things are going on, and then like this little baby just poops himself, right? And she's got too much going on, and she needs help, and so she's like, honey, and then you just hear the husband from upstairs like, yeah, what is it? Because she like sounds a little panicked, and he goes, and it sort of has like that half wall going up the stairs, so you don't see him until he gets about like halfway down the stairs, and he gets halfway and just stops. and he just starts gagging. He's like, oh my God. And like he's trying to help her, bless his heart, but he goes a couple feet. And then he just keeps walking. And he's just like trying to change it. It's hilarious. But that's what that reminds me of.
That's exactly how I see
That's what that
Rob
reminds
dealing
me
with
of.
that shit.
That's literally gonna
He like
make
hit
me-
the wall. He's like, what is it?
Oh, bro, and I tell you, it like stopped me in my tracks. Like I was like living my life, and it was like all this, you know that little penguin that goes like doo doo, and then like it has like those like eyes. It was like that. Like it was because like it used to be like, man, do I really want kids? You know, they're expensive, a lot of things. Like the world's weird. Like, can I handle that kind of responsibility? And you see all the cool things. And then I think it was that was like, all right, like let's chill out for a little bit.
That's
like,
the best. That's the
poop.
best
Poop.
childbirth method right there, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Well, that's like my favorite thing is like the nephews come, and I'm cool uncle. You know,
Yeah.
I'm cool like Uncle Rob. They get to play League while they're here. You know, he's having fun playing Katarina Top. Own it.
Is that good though?
Literally-
That
What do you
reminds
mean?
me, because like Claire showed me a TikTok this morning. She came in. She's like, "You have to watch this." I slapped, and the thing is like me showing my friends League of Legends.
She texted me that this morning.
Yeah, and it's like Sully and the little girl from Monsters Inc. And he opens up the door, and it's Summoner's Rift, and everything's going. And then for her though, it's like a fun little room.
It says like one above her, like
yeah. And so she like runs in, and she's all happy, like running around with the minions and stuff. And then it pans back to Sully, and he's just all sad. And then it pops up. Yeah, he's like level 500, and he just looks sad and goes through the door and shuts it. It's like, I'm sorry for what I've done.
It's literally how like you guys probably felt with me.
Yeah, like oh.
Played League and stuff, and then kids have fun, and then they start to get like cranky and start like testing you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then my favorite part is when they get to that point, it's time for them to go home. So
okay, good news.
yeah,
your mom and dad are here. Yay.
yeah. No, we got to drive and drop them off, and yeah. Which I got a lot. I like watching these kids. Like just like when I tell you we watch, it's like 3 hours. Okay, it's like in the grand scheme of things, like nothing. Shout out to all the parents, man. I don't know how the fuck you guys do it. I really don't. Especially like I'm talking like the parents from like ages 0 to like 5, like before you can just shove them into school. like that is the toughest time. I can only like because if you go on Facebook, I don't have a Facebook, but I'm sure if you did go on Facebook, all you see now are like all the kids we went to high school with and all that, like having kids now and stuff.
Couldn't be me. My little puppies are all I need. I had a small breakdown this morning while taking my morning poop. Because I poop like once a day. It's always at the same time. It always hits me around the same time every morning.
Yeah, it's just a cycle. Your
yeah,
body
I'm regular.
Yeah, you're a scheduled type of person.
Yeah, so I'm sitting there, doing my business, scrolling Reddit. Then I make the mistake of clicking on some thread about
dog age or something.
Some about dogs, yeah. I'm trying because there's like some pro tip for something. Oh, it was like life pro tip. Because it was about like euthanizing your dogs when they're like struggling.
Yeah.
Like don't wait. Like if you went to a vet, for instance, and they're in a lot of pain and it needs to happen. Talking about all the people who are like, well, we want to do it at home, or like, well, we need so and so to be here, and you're just prolonging that dog suffering for like hours or a day. Like it's not cool. So they're just saying like don't delay it. Do the dog a solid. But then the nurse, like this, who like made this thread or whatever, was talking about it. Like, oh, side pro tip: always be in the room when you put your dog down. She's like, there's nothing sadder I've seen than a dog being put down looking for their owner all alone. And I just was like,
dude, I got so frustrated with Sorry, parents, if you're watching this. I got so frustrated because when our old Chihuahua, she's like, I mean, old girl, she's like 17, 18, I don't even remember the full age. And she's clearly like, like it's coming, and I know it's coming. She does leading up to it, like, she couldn't really walk. She just didn't want to get up, and I'm just like, hey, like, because it's not my dog, right? I can't just be
Yeah.
like, I can't just pick her up and be like, we're going to the vet. So I'm just like, hey, like, have you considered taking her to a vet soon? And like, same deal, like they just want to prolong it, and they're like, but like, what if they have to put her down? And I'm like, well then, like, that's
Yeah, like
how it's gonna happen. Like, you can't, like, imagine how, like, your emotional turmoil is not nearly as bad as what that dog is going through.
yeah.
So
It's what you went through, Blue, sounds like exactly what I went through with our family dog, Bernie. Like we went there for Christmas, dude. He was like literally sideways from like his spine. Like he was literally
yeah,
like
like he was
sideways
like,
walking. It was bad, and it was like, what are we doing? Like what are we doing? So I think I can talk about it more now. But like you said, Christian, like we had it at the house. Like it was very very nice. The family was around. That's what I recommend. I always recommend like doing it at the house. Unfortunately for our dog Louie, my dad and Meredith took him to the vet, and it was basically like his cancer is like bad. So they had to like do it there. But they had like a room where it's like a
yeah,
bean bag and stuff like that. So they were
yeah,
able to like hold him in a room and stuff like that. So it's hard, but I mean, like you said, it's the best thing you can do. And like with Max, it was like no question. Like that was like the hardest thing because you question it all day. Like, am I doing the right thing? And looking back now, I would do it all over again.
100%. I would say like, uh,
But
because I
you ain't
mean,
got.
I was part of that. I was part of the team to be like, all right, let's get to the vet. My dad took off work. I went to like, I'll drive you, whatever you need to do. Like, I'll pick you up, yada yada. Like, just let me know. 5 minutes away, yada yada. And yeah, it's so tough. It's
But your
really
little
tough.
queen is so young still, so you got all the time in the world, King.
He's already like 6. That's bizarre to me. Pardon your regularly scheduled podcast listening for this short ad break.
Bum bum bum. This week's public service announcement: Manscaped now has beard products and is going even further with their brand new Weed Whacker 2.0. Go ahead and tell the world the leaders in below the waist grooming are traveling north of your South Pole with their revolutionary grooming products. The new Weed Whacker 2.0 and their new beard line confirms that they have all the best tools for your hygiene toolbox. Time for you to upgrade with your game by going to manscaped.com and using code GG to get 20% off plus free shipping. The Weed Whacker 2.0 got my nose feeling just right. Look at that. You can't even see nose hairs anymore. The beard trimmer is a waterproof cordless trimmer that has a rotary wheel that gives you 20 hair cutting lengths, all with one guard. So no more messy drawers filled with extra add-ons. Ew. Also, the new Weed Whacker 2.0 offers improved blades and skin-safe technology with no tugging guarantee. It's never been so painless to mind your manholes. So get 20% off and free shipping with the code GG at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with the free shipping at manscaped.com with our code GG. Always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped.
I get it. I get it. Anytime I think about any distress to Boomy, I will start crying. I
A
had
breakdown.
to there was one point where he like ate a pill. I didn't know whose pill it was.
What was
And
it?
well, he didn't actually eat a pill. It was just like there's a pill bottle, and I was like, "Who the fuck? Where the fuck did this come from?" And I was pissed. But then I was like, "Okay, I have to like deal with this now. Like I have
Yeah.
to." I called like a poison control hotline for dogs, and they're like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to." I highly would recommend like right like you could maybe try making them throw up and see what happens. So I'm sitting here like putting a little alcohol on peanut butter because alcohol makes dogs throw up. And I was sitting here putting this alcohol in this peanut butter, getting Boomy to eat it, and I'm like sitting here like, oh god. He turned out fine because he didn't have any symptoms, so we figured out he didn't need it. But
Me.
Plus, he threw up and there was nothing there, and I was just
Okay,
like,
saved.
but dude, I was like, oh god, what if he dies right here because of this pill? These aren't even mine. Who left these here? I was bawling. I was damn near about to have a mental breakdown because I couldn't. I was crying watching my dog eat peanut butter, which he thought was delicious. Didn't even notice there was alcohol on it.
You've betrayed my
peroxide.
trust.
And I'm just sitting here like, I was
I trusted you.
struggling.
Like, thankfully, with my cats being so young now, like, I don't like think of that per se. But my fear is them getting out. Like, that's the fear I have. Like, oh my god, if like, because Albus loves outside. Like, if you don't know where Albus is in the house and you want to find him, all you do is have to open up the back door, and he'll literally just sprint to the screen door because he loves fresh air. So that's always like the world I live in. But I don't think you have to worry about that, dude. Did the poop come out okay?
The poop? Oh, my
yeah,
poop?
You said you're on. Yeah, you said you're on the toilet. And I'm scrolling red and got sad.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make you forget about why you're sad.
It's too late. I'm already thinking about it, but tackle that when the day comes. So anyway,
I'll be there, King. We all will. Just like you guys were there for me.
I don't want to think about them. So
okay.
Things we do want to think about, or on the opposite, are hoping for, Counter-Strike Source 2 rumors.
Okay, this is like
Valve doing something.
I think we're like legit on like DEFCON 5. Like the devs are tweeting about it. Esport orgs are like starting to tweet about CS:GO like a little bit more frequently. Like even the ones that have like left CS, like talk about cool stickers. The market is like I'll just say bubbling. The market is a bubbling.
It'll pop, but not yet.
Dude, oh my! I was looking about this nice Phase 4 Gamma butterfly the other day. Love it. I've always wanted this knife. But it's green and my gloves are red. Pretty contrasting.
Yeah.
So there are these green gloves called hedge mazes that I used to really like. Okay. They used to be about the same as the gloves I have now. So I was like, maybe I can do like an easy little trade or swap. Apparently I didn't buy the wrong gloves. These gloves Sydney opened. Apparently I have the wrong gloves. My gloves have gone up maybe $60 since I opened them 3 years ago. And the hedge mazes are now like $1,500. And in comparison, mine are $300. So it has literally imploded in price, or exploded in price, I guess. And mine have imploded in price. So now I don't have the combo of my dreams, and I still have to wait for CS2 Source. And I'm in fear of CS2. Oh, hey, Stinky. God, that scared me. I was like, why did my door just open? Come here, Albus. All the devs are tweeting about it. They made a TikTok, like showing like all kind of Counter-Strike stuff. Like CS2 is coming. Like all the creators are tweeting about it. Even the pro scene is talking about it. Like they're having like segments dedicated to it. Like it's always been like, oh, Source 2, but like it's never really had any like true backing behind it. But now it truly feels like some of the devs are talking about it. It seems like every night there's some sort of new like Steam. I don't know like who does it, but like some dude who like follows like the dev kit of Valve and Steam or whatever can see when Steam goes into a game and like changes code to stuff like that. And apparently like they put a code in like CS2, and they're like making things like just like fixing little things, and people are thinking for like a big like graphic and engine haul, so all this stuff can be like, I don't know, transferred over when all this happens, I guess. So it's like happening. So if you have ever wanted to play Counter-Strike, go and buy mid-tier AK skins right now. This is not financial advice, but like get some mid-tier AKs, because when everybody comes back, everybody's gonna want skins. So those mid-tier AKs that are now $50 are also gonna be worth $200. I'm telling you, do it now while the iron is hot. This is not financial advice though. This is Counter-Strike advice from somebody who has made racks off Counter-Strike. Okay.
There you have it.
But Will you guys play with me if Source 2 is a thing? Just kind of like how
I
it was
mean,
with
I'll play
Valorant,
with,
like maybe a quick little
yeah, I'll play with
flip,
you
and then
some. And then, I mean, the thing is, fundamentally, the game's going to be the same. And fundamentally, me and the game don't jive. So, well, I'll play it and have fun for a while.
see, and like okay, see, like that is, see, that's why I'm worried with Source 2 is Counter-Strike is awesome. Like I love Counter-Strike. I would recommend it to pretty much everybody I know. The problem is though is that the new player experience is so terrible. Like when I say I think it may be the worst new player experience in any game you could possibly have ever. Like just for like instance, like if you want to play matchmaking, you have a fresh new account. Okay, wow, I just made I want to play Counter-Strike. Wow, this is awesome. Okay, and I play a matchmaking game and I win. Wow, Counter-Strike is really fun. I really like this. I'm having fun. I go into another game. I win again. Wow, I'm getting a lot of momentum. This is a lot of fun. I'm learning. I want to play again. I can't queue matchmaking again for 24 hours because I've already won 2 games and this is how they combat Smurfs. Yeah, if you want to play Counter-Strike and you like if you opened Counter-Strike, Christian, and won 2 games, you couldn't queue Counter-Strike for 24 hours like online. Like you could go do like DM or something like that, but you couldn't queue because that's like their way of like preventing like Smurfs and stuff like that.
It's kind of strange. I mean, I guess
Okay.
it might work against
Okay, so
some
here's
of the
another
things,
thing
but yeah, as a
that
player,
is a problem with Counter-Strike is this is going to sound like a kind of a niche issue, but Counter-Strike matchmaking servers are awful. Okay, they are awful. Okay, the game was made what in 2012. Okay, those servers were made like in 2006. Okay, so a lot of those servers are only 64 tick servers. What 64 tick means is I don't know. Basically, you want the tick number to be higher. Okay. It has something to do with like gun response. So like it's more responsive with a higher tick rate. So now a new player, if you are a new player that is wanting to play with your friends are probably going to tell you, okay, so we're not going to play matchmaking with you. You're probably going to have to solo play that. Play until you get 10 wins. That'll probably take you 5 days. So after those 5 days, you're also going to need at least 100 hours to join up on Faceit. Now, Faceit's this third-party system that you're gonna have to download that we run matchmaking through, because it has its own anti-cheat system. Because the VAC system is awful. It's so bad. They don't care. I mean, sure they care if it's super egregious and stuff like that, but how easy is it for somebody to go and make a new Steam account and go cheat again? It's so easy. So the VAC system is super outdated. I haven't run into many cheaters in matchmaking, but I don't play matchmaking anymore, so I can't talk about the matchmaking thing. And that's also the other thing about matchmaking, about CS that needs a fix. Like, if they update the engine, sure, but the matchmaking needs a total rehaul. Like, could you imagine like not playing Destiny? I mean, yeah, we can't imagine because we don't. But could you imagine not playing Destiny 2 Crucible because the matchmaking system was so bad that you had to download a third-party system just to play matchmaking? Or let's say Overwatch. Overwatch's system is so bad that no one plays the rank system. All the pros don't play the rank system. And if you want to be a pro, you got to download this third-party system. Like, it's so ass backwards. Like, that is like priority one, I think, is like matchmaking needs a fix. And then you'll also see a lot of the time on the Reddit is you'll have a bunch of like silvers queuing with each other, and then they just played a bunch of global offensive like players. I forget what the MGMEs or whatever. So the hype is there. I just really hope that, because you can like have all this hype behind it and stuff like that, but if people don't have like a good matchmaking system to play, things to grind and stuff like that, only the dedicated base is going to stay, which is fine because it has the highest player base it's ever had these past like 4 months in a row. So like, I don't really know like what like it's going to look like if they are totally fine with just having the player base that they have, or if they're trying to, capitalize and gain the people that, haven't played a tactical shooter, until Valorant and have heard about CSGO, but didn't play CSGO because they've heard what I've said, that the new play experience is just terrible and looks old, That's Joey doesn't play CSGO because it looks old. No other reason behind it other than it looks old. And for me, call me old, I guess, but I think that's part of the charming side. I think, what else more do you need?
Welcome to
the game.
being a Valve apologist, Rob. It's nice to have you. I've been doing it for you to Team Fortress 2, baby.
But don't you want Team Fortress 3? Like,
I'm never gonna get it, but I can see why so many people don't play Team Fortress, because you log into Team Fortress
and it looks like
that
shit.
is a 2006 game, dude. Like, that is a.
But it's perfect, right? Though, like,
No,
to you, it's perfect though.
No.
Oh, okay. No.
I look back and it has a charm, but yeah, like I can appreciate the charm of being old, but like
it doesn't
even
translate to today.
But there's
like,
definitely
CS does.
But there's definitely, like, Team Fortress is even worse than CS as far as like old UI goes, right? So for me, Team Fortress has not aged well in the stylized department. Art direction of the game itself, when you're in the game, great. UI, absolute trash tier. Because, man, it's like coming up on 20 years old. So, but yeah, I definitely understand why a lot of people don't play Team Fortress, because when they log in, they're like, oh, so this is like a classic game. And I'm just like,
dude, it's pretty unbelievable. I'm going to kind of pivot to Team Fortress 2. It's pretty unbelievable the kind of community that they still have playing that game. 91,000 players were on it 40 minutes ago.
It's just, well, a lot of it has also become the trading, because the market for trading TF2 items has become so big. And there was a big boom recently because of all like the crypto bros. So you have a lot of people playing the game to trade items, and like
does it work like cases? Like with hats? Like, is the hat a knife and you open up a case and the case can potentially have said
correct. That is
where
I believe, where CS got a lot of its inspiration from for its case system, is the TF2 boxes. You have a very small chance of, generally it's just like a weapon skin, a cool item, like a cool cosmetic item for your character. But yeah, sometimes you have this hat that has a really cool glowy effect, and next thing you know, you open this box that has like a 0.0000001% chance of opening an unusual, and it's probably not even the effect you want. But
it's an unusual.
But it's unusual, and who knows?
Did you ever open one?
I've opened one before. I think the one I opened was which a lot of people still to this day message me about buying it, and I'm just like,
you have it on your account still?
Yeah, I'm not getting rid of that thing. That thing's my baby.
I like that.
It's a time warp pyromancer's mask. And it was limited time because of the man versus machine updates. Just like anything else, right? The crates are limited time, so like,
yeah, it's like an operation almost, kind of like
Christian yesterday. So like for a couple months you can get it, but like if you don't get it, well, good luck in the resale market.
You'd have to you'd have to buy the case that somebody bought from that and never opened.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Selling that case for like $10.
Yep, exactly. So I had this time warp pyromancer, super sick swirly effect. It's like you're going in a black hole.
Well, it says $550, but 0 sold recently, but somewhere around there.
I'm looking at the time warp pyromancer.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, same deal, right? Because there's so few of them, because the man versus machine update was so short. It's basically whatever price I want. So people will still message me, and people will find my Twitter and they'll be like, "Hey, saw your backpack. I see there's only 2 time warp pyromancers."
Backpack. Yeah. TF2backpack.com or something like that. Yep. They have like a CS thing for that.
And they're just like, "Hey, wow. So can I offer you like $1,000 for that thing?" And obviously I just ignore it, because I'm just like, that's mine, dude. 1 of 2, baby, that's mine. Obviously it's not like the most popular effect or hat, but it's mine.
Yeah, it's like 1 of 2.
I think it's
which is why it's very cool. I love it. But it's just like CS, right? Like it's something, it's yours, it's unique. But yeah, like the resale market is insane. There's very popular hat combos with effect combos. You can get upwards of like, I want to say like $3,000 for certain hats. Probably not as much.
Why don't you think other games have tried to like do this kind of system?
Because it's a nightmare to deal with the community that comes from the system. That's the big problem with Team Fortress, is you have these massive scams. These
Oh yeah,
massive
like oh, same here. Like
massive like there's like servers you can go to trade with people, and then like people get scammed through
phishing
that.
link, just to find a phishing link in
Yeah,
your
quick little
API set.
phishing link.
Yep, you're
Boom, got
done.
this idiot.
Yep.
Back when I was trading hats, and I used to be in the unusual market, you'd have people be because there was a limit to how many items you could trade, and for the most expensive items, we would trade buds. It's probably different now, but
Is that like
buds
keys? Is that like
basically like keys, but buds were like if
very
like
liquid item, but something that always held its value type of thing?
yeah. So it was basically like an alternate currency, and so like keys, standard currency like 250 a key, and buds were like 20 keys. So it was like a conversion. Like buds were always like what's were always like $100. What's something like that? 50
Uh,
bucks. Like a bud was like about 50 bucks, right?
yeah.
So you could trade multiple buds to get your item, but like the most expensive items, you couldn't trade more than 8 buds at a time. So for like those really expensive like $1,000 hats, people would be like, "Hey, can you trade me all like you go first, trade me your buds." Oops, I got to go. Just lost 8 buds. Like yeah. And
Yeah.
so yeah, whew, it's a mess. I love Team Fortress 2 and I love the market and how like it grew, and obviously it's a lot safer now, but like damn man,
Yeah.
like this is the Wild West,
I'm
dark
stalking your
times.
backpack now.
Monka. I really don't
I
have much. That's pretty much it because I pretty much
yeah.
got rid of all my other stuff.
Yeah, I just like it's so interesting like I always just think like so many games could try and do something like this, but it like you said, like the kind of headaches it can give you as a game like studio and stuff like that, it just might as well not be worth it. Like I always wonder like just the amount of panic that would ensue if Valve was like, yeah, you can't trade skins anymore offsite for more than $2,000 or you're gonna be banned. Like I could only imagine, because when you start getting into the CS skins, like some skins trade from upwards of like hundreds of thousands of dollars. So like a skin just sold for $160,000 the other day, and Valve saw none of that. But like, is Valve cool, with everything that came before that? Them opening up the Kato capsules, them opening up the Wild Lotuses. Like, did they make enough from that to be cool with not making what 3% from a $156,000 sale? So that is like always like my biggest fear is that they crack down on just, they already cracked down on the gambling thing, which is like good and which is I'm so happy I was not a CS person in that time because that seems like a wild time. If you don't know, you could basically like, oh, I'm gonna put up my skins up for gambling in hopes of getting the same return in skins back from this gambling site, and I'm gonna bet on Liquid I'm gonna bet Liquid FaZe. And if Liquid won, I got those skins. If Liquid lost, I lost my skins. So a lot of people back in the day said it taught a lot of kids gambling, and a lot of issues came from it. And Valve got like a court order or something about it, and Valve like put the ban hammer on all those gambling sites. So it always like I always wonder, dude, like what would happen if like Valve really put like a way harder guardrail than they already have on the trade system. Because nowadays, like back in the day, like if I trade you a skin, Christian, and we traded skins, okay, you could immediately trade that skin I just traded you to another person, okay. But nowadays, there's like a trade lock. So if I trade you, we have to wait 7 days to now trade that item. So it stops like pumps and dumps and stuff like that. Because you'll see a lot of times like an item will be up for 3 cents. Bunch of people buy it and raise it up to 60 cents and start selling it at 60 cents. But now, so say you buy that item for 3 cents, now you have to wait 7 days till you can actually sell it for 60 cents. So it's their way of I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Keeping the guardrails on the market.
Regulations.
Yeah, regulations. That's what I'm looking for. But yeah, CS Source 2, it's coming. Skins are coming. If you ever wanted to try Counter-Strike, now is the time to try it. People are saying like by the end of the month we're gonna have a beta. I would be shocked if we have a beta by April. Okay, tinfoil hat theory. Valve ain't stupid. Okay, they are gonna wait till summer vacation. They're gonna wait till all the kids, all the people are at home and have their computers, and they're gonna announce a Source 2 beta coming like I would probably guess late May, early June. That's my tinfoil hat theory, because they're gonna try and get all the kids that play Valorant, all the kids that now play tac shooters. They see that they like have a new audience with Valorant. You know, a lot of people that used to play Overwatch, all those other games now play Valorant. Didn't play CS:GO before. There's this whole new untapped audience. They're gonna tap into it, and I think CS:GO 2 is probably gonna be out by the end of the year, and we'll get a beta by June. So get your fucking minds ready. And I bought some skins. I may have bought some AKs that hopefully when the things drops, you know, I can maybe flip them a little bit, maybe make a little bit of profit, put those back into some play skins. Because that's the other thing. I just don't flip skins for the money. I love playing with them. That's my favorite thing. I love me some CSGO, baby. So, Source 2, get your minds right. I'm excited for it. Hopefully the boys will play it. Does this give you hope, Blue, that Team Fortress 3 could be a thing?
Absolutely not. We're not getting Team Fortress.
Even with 90K, like I just think that's insane for them not to like think about some sort of upgrade with 90K viewers or 90K players. Like that's about what Destiny brings in.
You know, Rob? No, we're not getting it.
Okay.
Absolutely not. There's no fucking way we get.
So like this Man Company Supply Crate Series 55. This can open a exceedingly rare Series number 2 unusual hat. So that's like what the knife is, kinda?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. Well, it's sick. My tinfoil hat theory is, Christian, is that we're not getting a Source 2 beta in April or March. Instead, we're getting it late May, early June, right when summer hits for most kids. Because they're trying to tap into that Valorant market. Valve ain't stupid. I think they'll announce their summer sale and CS2 beta at the same time. I think it'll be like a double, like, Valve is the king type of thing. It'll be a reminder that, you know, Gaben is the king.
You're really drinking the Kool-Aid these days, huh?
No, it's happening. I'm saying it's happening. I will be shocked. I would be shocked if we have it now, but I would be even more shocked if we don't have it by June. Beta wise. I wouldn't say full game till the latter of the year.
Still pretty short timeline though.
Maybe even beta. Okay, because I'm thinking about the pro scene. Maybe beta in the summer. Let the season finish out, and then in December and like January, like launch the game in December when all the pro scene is done. Let the pros play it for about 3 or 4 months. Launch the pro scene back up, and we're off and going.
You're hired.
Can't wait. Thanks, Gaben. I just want a 0.001% of every case bought every day.
You're fired.
I tried.
All right. Well, you know.
I tried.
Yeah, I tried to play.
I wonder how much that is. Like,
I don't know.
It just has to be just a ridiculous amount of money that is made on the Steam market for Steam.
Reminds me of like Keanu Reeves with The Matrix, which is why, at least for a little while, he still might be like the most paid actor for a single movie or whatever, because he ended up taking like royalties on the back end instead of up front.
Really?
Yeah, because back in the day, they were really skeptical about it, I think, and they were like short on money and all this kind of stuff, and so ended up making a deal where he's like, well, I'll just, get back in stuff, and
I'll do like that real well for him. And like merch, like, I'll do all that kind of stuff.
So very few people actually get those kind of deals now, because the people who have usually works out pretty well for them. Speaking of which, 1 week left until John Wick 4.
Do you want to know bad news? I bought those tickets last week. I'm gonna be on a bachelor trip next week. Didn't even think about it. Yeah, leaving Thursday morning. So I gave Sydney the tickets and was like, take a friend.
Trying
like,
to sabotage your John Wick, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty upset about it. Hopefully, like, I can convince some of the dudes to be like, let's go see a movie or something like that. But these guys are those guys that like, hey, we're dudes and we like sports, which means we drink. Like, so they're definitely like those kind of guys. So I'm probably gonna bring back so I'm probably gonna bring back some fun stories. Not next week, but the next week's podcast. So I'll have some bachelor stories.
It's exciting. Where are you guys going?
Going to Phoenix. He went to ASU, so he has friends from there and shit, which doesn't make sense because he has more friends from Colorado. But like, I get it, like going to a place for your bachelor party. I don't even like it'll be fun. Like, and like they're also we like sports, we like beer. What's the tip of the triangle for that? Sports, beer. Come on.
Sports,
women.
Beer, wings.
Not women, but golf. So
yeah,
so
we're going to Top Golf, baby. Let's go.
We're not going to Top Golf, but
those dudes only fuck missionary, and I could tell you that for sure.
So yeah, we're going to get in some like Airbnb. Yeah, exactly. Like Mike said in the chat just now, a mid-20 golf bachelor party. Like, yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, like I'll be honest with you, I haven't golfed in a minute. I haven't golfed since Bernie died.
I'm sure your form's still great.
You know what's the crazy thing? I remember golfing when Bernie passed, and I had never played that much golf, and like I had never played that like good. And I knew Bernie was watching up there, making sure I didn't hit them houses. Because we were playing in one of them courses that is like, for some fucking reason, between, like, like, it's literally like a park. And it's like a fucking drive. And it's like, all right, good luck hitting these $750,000 houses. Like, I won't tee off. Like, I told him, I was like, if we're like at one of those courses where it's like mansions all on like this, I won't tee off. I won't. I was like, I'll play best ball with whoever's teeing off. I won't do it.
That's fair.
So yeah, gonna be doing that next weekend. Should be fun. Like, whatever. 6 a.m. flight back on Sunday though, so not gonna
nice and early.
Weekend. Yeah, well, I mean, I prefer the early flights. With my dad flying standby his whole life, and with me flying standby my whole life, it was basically, oh, the 4 a.m. is open. Get up at 2. Like,
so be it.
Yeah. Speaking about so be it, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't like the finale of The Last of Us. I think it missed.
Really? Why is that?
Yeah, I was not a fan. I just felt like it was like too.
Are you gonna spoilers or not?
No, I just felt like it was a little rush. I felt like, especially that episode, should have been dissected a little bit more than, I felt like they've done everything right up to this point. Even in the game, I felt it was a little like, no way, type of thing. Like, even at like this point, like, he's going against like a whole army type of thing. Like, no way. Like, so I thought they'd try and do it a little bit differently other than him taking on a whole army. I guess that is kind of, but, I just didn't like it. I felt like they should have maybe done what they did with like the third episode and deviate a little bit, and do what a TV show is supposed to do and give us like different sorts of angles. I would have loved to see like inside the stuff. I would have liked to see more stuff about the Fireflies and their kind of thinking and what they would have done. That is, the sort of stuff and I thought the TV show was going to try and do. I didn't think we would just be Joel again. You know what I mean?
Well, as someone who didn't play the game, I thought it was great.
Okay.
And then, that's why, and then I was going to read, because I was like, I wonder, like, is this how the game ended? How did it look? And I saw mixed. It seemed like, for the most part, pretty positive. Because, like, most of it, seemingly a lot of like the complaints too have been like, where was X or Y? And all the X or Ys were usually just like filler zombie encounters and like thing that doesn't have anything to do with the story, but it's just like filler in between something.
Mm-hmm.
So some people were like, complaining about that. Some people were like, yeah, they cut that, it's fine. But apparently, obviously, I won't spoil anything, but like after about the last like 4 or so minutes, I guess 4 or 5 minutes is essentially kind of what they did before, but like just like 1-to-1 with pretty much like dialogue wise and stuff what the game did for the ending. So I liked it. Yeah, I see how you could have wanted like some other perspectives. Pardon your regularly scheduled podcast listening for this short ad break.
All right, this is the one I've been waiting for. Today's episode is brought to you by True Classic. Do you guys remember that shirt I was wearing, that like blue and Mr. Fruit, like, wow, Rob, you really looked jacked. And I was like really blushing and stuff like that. And they thought I was trying to show off my muscles. That was just a True Classic tee. And that this is what this ad is for. So this is, remember that episode when I wore that True Classic tee and everybody was saying how jacked I looked? And that was totally not a coincidence. They totally did not know I was actually wearing a True Classic tee that promotes this kind of stuff. Seriously, True Classic is the best. This is your one-stop shop for all your wardrobe and essentials. Their shirts have premium fit that are tighter in the shoulders and biceps for the extra boost of confidence. Remember, like they said, my arms looked huge? Well, they didn't. It was just fitted for me perfectly. We have an exclusive deal for you guys. We want to hook you up with some True Classic. For a limited time only, get 25% off with our code GG at trueclassic.com. True Classic is built and designed for a man's body, so no matter what product you buy, you can feel confident that you'll get a premium fit that's consistent across all types. Get comfortable, get going, and upgrade your wardrobe with True Classic. Get 25% off at trueclassic.com with the code GG. Free shipping is included over purchases over $100, 100% risk-free guarantee with 30% return policy. You can't go wrong. It looks good and feel good season. Yeah, I just want to be Joel. Like, I felt like this whole series, like, we've been able to, like, in the game, you're Joel. You know what I mean? Like, and in the show, you get to see, like, things that Joel doesn't get to see. I just thought in this final thing we'd get to see more, and it'd be a little bit more like, I don't know, dissected or.
See, I think it worked because, again, being as vague as possible, the shock and awe factor worked because it was so sudden, bam, 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 and then you're like, did that just happen?
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, that's what it was. I was like, wait, what's going on? Holy, and then and then it just finishes out, and it's like, what just happened? Which is why I had to go look it up too. I'm like, I need to process this.
Yeah. It's a super fun mission.
So that's what I was reading. I was like not very realistic. He didn't have to reload 8 million times. He wasn't running out of ammo. There weren't respawns. Apparently people were on that mission for a while.
That mission, well, because like I played it on, I think it's grounded. I think it's the second hardest difficulty. At that point, you have like no ammo. Like you are like shooting these dude with bottle caps. Like it is literally like you have to play perfect. But like it's also like sick. Like it's super sick.
The line. So I know as a whole, especially as a viewer, I think it worked really well. I enjoyed the whole series. I guess they're doing, I think it was confirmed, season 2 and 3. They're going to do 2 seasons to flesh out this next storyline, which I will say, which is why I never do this, just trying to look for discussion about that last episode. And wouldn't you know it, freaking no spoiler tag. There's more stuff spoiled for me. Not happy about it. But now I know a little bit more, and so I am interested how they're going to... because what I'm interested to see is if and how they differ from the sequel, or try and flesh it out more, and then to see if reactions from like people who maybe played that game, if it plays out differently or sort of similarly, but if the TV show somehow does it better and people's opinions might be a little different. I don't know.
Well, that's and that's kind of the thing. It was cheap, not wasn't cool. Like it wasn't like, I don't know.
I gotta say, I thought it was very rushed. For me, it felt rushed. I think I think what they tried to do made sense from a viewer perspective, where they tried to like it's just shocking, like, and when you play Last of Us, that last section is a really big gameplay section.
Oh, it's sick.
Um, and so I understand where in the game it can feel a little more drawn out. You go through a lot of things. I just feel like just like an extra 30 minutes of just a little, a little more bumper time, um, to let things breathe a little more would have felt right. But I definitely understand. I think as a viewer, for a new person, that's probably like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit,
Yeah, for me, I was just like, oh Jesus.
holy fuck. But for me, it felt like, because as a guy who played the game, it just felt like very like, kind of not necessarily that they skipped things, but that they missed a couple of key details that were, because the game had more time to tell it, was felt a little more natural in the game. So, TV
Why?
wise, it makes sense.
Um, well, two thoughts. The one is like, again, it's interesting to hear all this because like typically I'm on the other end. We're like, yeah, I played it, and this is but as a viewer, I'm sitting here like, I don't even know like what I would have wanted them
Yeah,
to expand on.
as
And
a
I was like, it
viewer,
was
great. As a
yeah.
viewer, great. As the guy who played the game, because the pacing of the game, that last section was so good, it just felt a little too quick, and it missed, I guess, a little nuance that I liked from the game. But for a viewer, like, you got the exact same effect. For the format of TV, I felt like it worked. What I am really interested in is, I'm assuming they're definitely doing another. They're doing the part 2 as a series. Maybe not soon. It's probably gonna be later than sooner. These showrunners did such a good job expanding. For as much as I didn't like the ending as much as the game, I think a lot of the storylines of the characters were done significantly better in the show than they were in the game.
Yeah.
Um, I think a lot of the more personal stuff, I think they like nailed really hard, and I feel like they can do the same for part 2, where they do a better job of fleshing out the characters. Because I'm gonna be honest, part 2 doesn't exist to me. I fucking hate that game. I hate just trash tier storytelling. Um, the concept is great, right? But the delivery is piss ass bad. And
Yeah.
so I actually do have a lot of faith that these showrunners will give it
Mm-mm.
the treatment it deserves. But yeah, I hate part 2. I think it's so bad. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, you thought it was going to be this and that?" And it's like, "Shut the fuck up. I just thought it would be better.
I
I just
like
thought they would I just thought it would be better. I don't have a problem with what happens in part 2. I have a problem that
how.
how it happens
Yeah.
sucked ass. The end goal, I'm cool with. Everything in between, suck ass. So I have a lot of faith that they'll do better. I think
Uh,
I think the old writer for the original Last of Us, I think she works at Respawn. Well, she used to work at Respawn, and then she, what was her name?
Can't help you
She
here.
Lauren.
slapped.
Sarimel Beth Melana.
Whatever.
Shroud.
Whatever. Druckmann is probably the credited, but as the main writer. But I don't know. I felt like in part 2, like, they really missed the mark on a lot of things that I think the show did a good job of getting correct in the first one. So I have a lot of faith that they'll do it good in the part in the next season. I'm going in circles, but cannot describe to you how dog shit part 2 is. What a trash tier game. Man, that was a Sony exclusive, and people were like, "Game of the year." What a
That's when
suck ass
that's when I have
game.
argued.
What a
Um,
shit ass what a terrible game. If you like that game, I'll fight you.
but what if you like the show? Like,
Then
what would you rate the
cool.
show as a whole, Blue?
I actually really like the show. I think the show was like a 9 out of 10 for me. I
I
think it was
agree.
great. Awesome. I hope the showrunners salvage because there's a great story in part 2 somewhere.
Yeah, just
Somewhere.
I hope they find it as well.
It just wasn't in that game, you know? So
Yeah, but all around, really liked the show. The only issue I had was, and it's really not an issue. It's more so like I just wish they went more, and I could see like what the other perspective was. You know, because we got that like the whole series, other than like that episode.
Well, and
Which sucked.
also impressively is I'm pretty sure like each episode kept beating its previous like viewer ratings.
Wow.
It just kept going up
I
every
think is
single episode.
dope because I feel like when the show first started, like my dad watches tons of TV. So when I asked my dad, like, have you watched the last one? He's like, the what? And it just felt like as the weeks went on, more and more people were like, wait, the show's tight. Their friends told their friends, you gotta watch this show. And my dad didn't even know it was about a video game.
You
'Cause he was
don't
watching it, he was
need to, right? Yeah.
He's like, man, this show's sick. Like, this is an awesome show. And I was like, yeah, it's one of my favorite games. It was based on a what?
Um.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think episode 1 had I think around like 5 million, and I think the finale ended at almost 12, I believe. So
That's wild.
yeah. What may or may not be wild. Season 3 of The Mandalorian. Thoughts if you've seen it.
You start, Blue.
I think it's I think it's starting about the same way as the other season started. It kind of starts slow, and it's kind of like dives into the characters more than like. I do appreciate from this season that season 2 had some trouble with is that the plot seems a lot more like what are the stakes, what's going to happen, like what's the end result. You know, that seems a lot more set up about what the season's going to be about, whereas in season 2 it kind of started off like little like a bunch of side quests and then we got to what's going to happen. I will say I do feel it still feels a little unearned that Grogu's just chilling with him again. And that was my big problem with Boba Fett is it just kind of happens and I'm just like, and then season 3 Mando, like I'm cool having it again. I was still like really hoping to see Mando just doing his thing versus, you know, Ubering around baby Grogu.
And
What
What do you think,
it does
Rob?
kind of feel like that. I like it. I think what Blue kind of said. I mean, it's not starting slow. I just think like the last other Mandalorians have been so good, but just like the last season, it's just been kind of well. Don't know if I like the side plot like kind of thing in episode 2, whatever that was. Or episode 3, right?
Oh, do you mean the
Are
most
we
recent
on-
one? It was episode 3
Yes.
this Wednesday.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, episode 3. I forgot that 3 episodes have come out. Yeah, because I've seen all 3. I like it. Don't love it. I know Joey said it like episode 2 was like the best Star Wars episode thing he's ever seen for any Star Wars thing.
I don't know about that, Joey. A little hot take.
But yeah, it's okay. Like I like it. I like it more than I liked Boba Fett. You know.
Yeah, well, Boba Fett's
That's
not
pretty
very
easy.
high
Yeah.
bar to
Yeah. That's
clear.
why I'm. Yeah. Like.
Well, interestingly enough, there's been a lot of things being brought up because this season is lower viewership across, I think, any Star Wars show so far. Even worse than Boba Fett, everything else. I think it's worse than Andor. We'll have to see. We'll see how the numbers go. And people have their theories. Part of mine, too, is the fact that they did Mando season 2.5 and Boba Fett.
Yeah,
which I think we talked about this, where someone's going to come to season 3 and be like,
where the hell? I thought
is
Yeah, I thought he dipped. Like,
I
what?
did think that
How
was a
are we
little
here?
weird that they didn't address that like at all.
So like it's just I'd be so confused and frustrated for me as a viewer if I didn't know
He's
that
just
or
back.
watch Boba Fett. Yeah,
Grogu's back.
it's one of those things where it's like, what? And how was I supposed to know? I was supposed to watch these 2 episodes or 3 episodes of
Yeah,
a
exactly.
different series. So I think that might play into it. Some people being confused, or just like that, like, hey, here's new season of Mando comes out. Oh, I can't wait to watch it. Hey, but did you see? But you're gonna want to watch Book of Boba Fett. Wait, what? You won't understand anything. Oh, I guess I'll watch it later then. Maybe something like that. Also, just fatigue.
I've also like I haven't seen a ton of marketing like for this Mandalorian.
Yeah,
Like I have seen
it
like
seemed
others.
a little more chill.
Yeah, marketing does not exist for this season. I gotta admit.
But I've been enjoying it. There's been some cool spectacle scenes too, or just like actual Star Wars like moments of like action, which always seem few and far between that were done well. And I enjoyed seeing the look at a certain planet in this last episode. Cool like world building and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. We'll see where it goes. But yeah, it's certainly not the phenomenon that season 1 or 2 is right now.
100%.
So we'll see if maybe that picks up. Maybe it's just other stuff. Maybe it's fatigue. Who really knows? Speaking of fatigue, gamers and streamers, especially FPS, are tired of middling games.
Yeah.
That was a segue because now they're going to try and make a better one. They said, screw it, I'll do it myself. Shroud is making his own shooter game with, I think, also Sacriel or something like that. They're partnering with Splash Damage. They announced it. Currently, it's called like Project Astral or something. Just a code name, I'm sure. Otherwise, we couldn't think of a better name. Come on now. And not much was released. It's just that it's going to be a survival shooter. I'm assuming something like in the
Tarkov.
essence. Yeah, something where...
Extraction.
Yeah, something like that, I assume. Or even something, because like they've been playing a lot of DayZ recently. Something even maybe like around it. We don't know if it'll be extraction. It could just be... I mean, for all we know, it could be like Rust.
I'm with Blue Sentiment. And like not to be like Splash Damage makes shit games.
Hey, they did make Brink.
I mean,
which,
Brink was
they did make
shit.
Blink.
Which
I mean, it was okay. Like it was like a weird niche kind of game.
Nah,
like,
Brink sucked.
Like, I thought it was. I thought the
I'm not afraid to
was
say
good. I thought
sucked.
the movement was kind of shit, or like a little bit of both. Like I thought it would change every day.
They
like,
also
I like the
didn't
movement.
They do Master Chief Collection?
Yeah, but see, and that was the other question we had.
But they did the PC.
Yeah,
not Xbox.
Like, and the PC version like was a big redemption of
I guess
the MCC world.
There's some hits on there, some misses they've done. They did do Dirty Bomb, which I liked. But I don't know, like we'll see. It seems more so too that like Splash Damage wanted to make this game anyway, and it was more of like a get you guys in on it, sort of like a marketing sort of thing.
Yeah, I feel like it's pure marketing. I also feel like anytime gamer bros are like, I'm so tired of shit games, I'll make my own game. Start making their own game. It fucking sucks. And also like competitive people have like this massive boner for making a game competitive before it's fun. And so like back in the day, like so many dudes were like, man, I really like we should make a game that's like really focused on balance. And literally every game dev is like, that's cool. What's gonna make it fun? And every game bro is like, I don't know, just like the gunplay would be like shooting the gun and the gun and when you shoot your gun and it's like
well,
I don't know. I just every
I'll pass that on to the team. Thank you.
Thanks, man. I don't know. Every single time
he's like,
they're just like,
what are you doing, dude? Like,
I feel like it's pure marketing, but also like anytime someone is like, "Are you tired of shit games?" Hey, shooter boy, I've never I smell like ass 64 here, and I'm making my own game that's gonna be so much better than these games. I just know it's gonna suck ass. I just know it's gonna be ass tier, and I have yet to be proven wrong.
See, I have higher hopes because it seems like it's we're just throwing them onto a project we already had or are working on or had
And hey, I'm cool
in the
with that.
pipeline.
It's good marketing to just be like, yeah, here's some cool streamers. Because I mean, like using streamers and content creators, personalities as marketing, great, always works. You know that's free publicity. You get people playing your game. It's just the. Are you tired of shit games? Well, guess what? I know games way better than you ever could. And
Here's
here's
another
proof.
one.
Here's another one.
Well, then too bad because we got one more for you.
Yeah,
Here's one more shit game for you.
I will try it. You know, like I will dog on it and shit, but I will be there to try it when it comes out. So.
Well, and that's the thing too is we don't know anything about it either.
Yeah.
Could
I could look at it and go like, that looks like the coolest thing. And
it could
like,
come out more like, wait, hold up, he's cooking, or be like,
wait a minute.
Yeah, I was right.
Yeah, that looks.
Well, like that's. I hate being cynical, but like I feel like that's how video games has just kind of made me over the years. That like, you know, I used to see a trailer back in 2014 and go, oh, my God, they're making that for me. Like, and now it's like, fuck you. Like, don't even try and make something for me now.
If there's one thing this last decade has done, it's been like, oh,
trust issues.
Well, this looks pretty good. Hey, 50% of this game would be pretty cool, and that's probably what's going to ship. But hey, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's I was telling I think Rob this yesterday was like Brink was the first early access game. Except it wasn't labeled early access, and those weren't a thing. It came out like 60% baked. And if that had been the case, and like at today's early access, like, oh, this is promising. Let's see where it goes. And once they really flesh it out. Except
back
that wasn't
then,
the
it
case.
was like, this thing is dead on arrival. Like, stop playing this shit. This shit
there
sucks.
was like there was stuff there, and I wanted to love it, and it was fun, but also sitting like this ain't it.
Yeah, this ain't it.
So good luck to them. Again, I think probably their biggest role will be like some consulting, like QA, testing, play sessions, and then just like that, like Shroud probably does have a decent play in like helping with like how the actual shooting works. I'm sure he's probably pretty, like that's probably the biggest thing he cares about. Is like, hey, I want to help make sure that the guns shoot the way I want the guns to shoot, or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an interesting note. Like, we'll see if they end up going like the more hardcore competitive route, because that's just, it appeals to a much more niche audience.
I don't know, man. I've heard the esports bubble's kind of popping recently.
Well,
all these layoffs and stuff like that. I feel like most games don't want to go towards like try and make an esport thing because just how expensive it is and just how much of just a money pit it seems to be. That's
how it's usually worked too. Is like you can't, if you try and make a game to be an esport, you like it's sort of like how Blue's talking about with like the same way when you balance a game, you have to make sure it's fun first. You don't make a game around being an esport. You make a good game, and then grow an esport community from that. Or like you let that organically happen if it's going to happen, but trying to like immediately launch it and force it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to succeed. Yeah. So it's more of like build something out, and if there's something there, people will start to like latch onto that themselves. And once like the community's into it, that's when you can take advantage. Or like Riot even did it with Valorant. They released it, and I'm sure they had hopes for esports. For the first year, there was no sanctioned events. They're like, it's all, you guys do whatever you want. Then it started to grow in popularity. Then they're like, hey, all right, we'll capitalize and now put in like the Riot touch and do all of our stuff. So I think that's the way it just kind of has to happen.
Anything else we want to touch on before questions? We have some Patreon stands here with some questions.
I don't really have anything.
Yeah. Fluffy says, more of a fruit question, but on average, how long does it take you to edit a video? And a question for Blue, as someone who wants to get into Final Fantasy, what class would you recommend me playing? This is a question from Fluffy Manticore, by the way. I played Fire and Ice Mage in New World, and I played everything in Des 2, and I enjoy Rogue and WoW when I play.
Well, if you like, I don't know what is WoW Rogue. The Rogue is a lightly armored class that specializes in melee damage. Rogue combat tends around using instant attacks to build combo points, which used to unleash more powerful finishing moves on the target.
That's how it
Okay,
works in
so
Hearthstone.
Shiv.
Yeah.
Miracle Rogue.
if you like mages, red mage is really fun. Black mage is really fun. Those are both the typical mage classes. Black mage is your I'm standing still and I am yeeting things at you. It's the magic turret. You just sit there and you yeet shit. Red mage is like more party utility mage. If you like spender dumpers, like just a good melee job that's just like here's build up your gauge, dump your gauge. Reaper is great. Samurai is really fun. If you like the fantasy of having double blades, then ninja is great. Ninja is a little more based on like using your mudras, which is like think of it like stacks of armor charge. And you slowly build them up, and you use them on really cool moves. Yeah, I would say Samur Reaper are probably the best jobs that translate from WoW. Yeah, or you could start tanking, big guy. Welcome to Tank Club. Play Dark Knight. It's wicked. Gunbreaker is the best. Yeah, you got a lot of options.
Speaking of tank classes, that just reminds me. Bungie, what are we doing? You kidding me? Hotfix comes in.
Syntheseps?
There's one quality or like a balance change, and it's Titan Syntheseps with glaives.
And
nothing else.
I'm just very tired of Bungie. Like, oh, this is really popular and fun. Let's nerf it. What?
After also the whole thing where like Titans are we have a fist punch, so they're like you're the melee class. Except anytime there's something with melee, we're gonna stop you right there.
Ooh,
they're
an
being creative.
Uncharged melee hit with Syntheseps does more than the buff and a glaive melee.
Yeah, no Starfire touch too. Like,
yeah, not like nothing with the Warlocks either or anything. What's on the docket? They like rolled a random number generator from like 1 to 100. They're like 99. What's like the lowest priority? Oh, Titan sent those and glaives. Great. Throw it in this patch. Wait,
I like. Have you ever watched South Park? What they do to decide if they should bail a bank out or not? They take a chicken, they cut its head off, and they like throw it into a ring, and it like there's like different parts of like little section wherever the chicken ends up. That's where they do it. It seems like that.
Because
Syntheseps, like it's Syntheseps.
Not only that, this early in a season where they give you 2 exotic glaives and the ritual is a glaive, but we don't want you to use them. Apparently, it doesn't make any sense to me.
On average, Christian, how long does it take you to edit a video?
I mean, it depends on what kind of video. If I'm editing a video, like the ones.
Let's just say the average Mr. Fruit video.
2 hours.
Okay.
Some can be shorter. Again, it depends on what it is.
Does that include the rendering? Are you including rendering? And okay, so from let's say you have footage done to it's rendered on YouTube and like it's ready to be posted. You just have to like unlist it.
Probably 4 to 5 hours. Because ironically, I spend probably more time on a lot of thumbnails than I do the editing.
Oh.
Yeah, thumbnails are miserable and I hate it, but we can do.
AI
and then
thumbnail.
That's one I could get behind, please.
Crystal says, "What is something that you recently just realized that you are embarrassed you didn't realize earlier?"
Wait, what?
That Costco is a thing. I mean, I knew Costco was a thing, but I just, didn't.
You don't realize, like, damn, Costco slaps until you go to Costco.
Yeah, until like I went like with my parents growing up and stuff like that, and it had been a while. So I think just going to Costco and just because like going to Costco makes grocery store shopping fun until you check out.
I'm trying to think of something I've recently discovered.
Something maybe do with editing. Maybe you discovered a shortcut key or something.
Not so much. There's got to be something. Okay, well, the only one I can think of, it was a while ago. This wasn't recent, but learning that you can hold the space bar to move the cursor when like writing text on the iPhone. Instead of having to like click where you want to go, you can just hold space and then move it like a cursor.
Yeah.
That blew my mind.
It's awesome. It's the
I
yeah.
didn't know that for a while.
Yeah,
And
my
this, I
friend
learned it
Bella
a couple
showed us
years
that.
ago, but when I learned it, I was like,
Yeah.
what the fudge?
This changes everything.
Yeah,
It does.
I was at my friend Mickey's house and his roommate. We were both like typing something, and I couldn't like. I kept doing like the.
Or it'll
no,
select like the whole
right-
word, and you're like,
Yeah.
no, just put the.
Yeah. And then she was like, "You don't hold the space bar." I was like, "What's that?" She's like, "Look," and then like held it, and I was like, "No
What
way."
the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah, that one really.
They are
anything
the
for you,
one.
Blue? Mr. Westlow?
God, what made me think like, damn, how stupid. I think it was just. It's not anything specific. It's not anything like no like good life advice. So, Char and Danko, great, goated couple, very poggers. We love them. In Final Fantasy, so Char Iona, right? That was his old name. So in game, he names himself Char Iona. I didn't realize that Danko named herself Alina Iona. I thought it was just like a fun last name. They made a couple name, and it took me 8 years to realize Iona and Iona were the same words. And so I was like, oh, I get it, because you two are dating. And it's like, bro, it's been like a year. I don't know. I looked really stupid.
Question here from Depiv says, "Will we ever see a return of the stupid question segment of stupid question of the week segment?" Sure, because I have one actually. How is the double down legal? And how can we call that a sandwich? That's not a sandwich. I got it yesterday. The remnants is right here.
And thoughts?
Awful.
Okay.
I mean, okay. Awful as a sandwich. If you try and eat it like this, awful. Terrible, terrible, terrible. And just for people that don't know what the double down is, at KFC, you can go to double down. You can go and get a double down, which is 2 chicken breasts, with a piece of cheese and some bacon in between. So it's like a sandwich, if you will. Minus, the lettuce, the bread, other healthy things. Not healthy, but, things that make a sandwich. Things that make
a
sandwich
sandwich, technically, I think we've talked about this. Technically, a sandwich doesn't have to mean bread, but it's typically things in between two things that serve.
So you would consider, is that an exotic sandwich?
It's exotic in its ability to render your arteries useless.
Yeah. So when I was eating it as a sandwich, it was disgusting. But when I took it apart and ate it as, chicken, and then let's put some bacon on that. Yum.
How dare you rip apart a double down?
It was fine. It was like a 7. But yeah, I had to take it apart to enjoy the double down. But it's gross. It's not good. I got the spicy variation too. Not even spicy. I think
this? Huh?
I think they get okay. I'm sick and tired of restaurants getting away with this. If you say I'm making a spicy sandwich, okay, you putting a spicy sauce on it doesn't make it a spicy chicken sandwich, okay? It doesn't. The chicken the bread, that needs to be spicy. Just having it a chicken sandwich is the same as the other chicken sandwich, but now it has sriracha on it. That's a spicy. No, I hate that. Let's get away with that. And I think that's what they were trying to do. I think they put a little hot red sauce on in between or something. No. I thought
no.
I was to believe that the breading, would be what made it spicy. Nay,
that's where you were wrong.
So
I've come around to Popeyes a lot recently. Solid. Not only that, the nuggets. I don't know if you've ever had Popeye
Oh, the
nuggets.
Popeyes nuggets.
I heard you air fry them. Like you
Yeah,
did like
you
an
reheat them with air
experiment.
fryer. It's like perfect. And then you get their sweet heat sauce with those.
Oh my god, the sweet heat.
Yeah, the nearest
Oh my god,
Popeyes, Mr. Fruit, is about 40 miles from me.
Hey, you know what they need to bring
it's
believe
back
worth
because I
that?
it.
haven't in so long is the hottie sauce. That was so good. God damn it, Megan the Stallion, bring it back.
She's like, bet I
Um,
got you.
Absolutely says, question for Rob: are you still into F1, and how do I get into it? Anything in particular I should watch, listen to, etc. I mean, I would start with the Netflix series Drive to Survive. Just start at season 1 and just
I'd
binge
start
away.
by going to your longest straight way in your
Yeah,
neighborhood. Seeing how fast
building
you
your
can
go
go.
kart. I actually got into it because my dad was super into racing. Well, not super into racing. He hates NASCAR and shit because he's an F1 fan. Like he likes
It's
Formula
like a
One.
purist.
He's actually
Like,
named after a Formula One driver, a Colombian Formula One driver,
Hmm.
Juan Manuel Fangio. So that's why my dad's name is Juan Manuel.
wow, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
That's
he's
cool.
like some Colombian F1 driver that was like the tits back in the 50s. And my dad's dad was like, I gotta name my kid after him so he can fix airplanes. But that's where I'd start. And Netflix also has a good documentary on who is my Formula One GOAT, Michael Schumacher. It's a great documentary if you want to watch that. Muzzy, what's your favorite childhood memory with a family pet?
All of them. I
Yeah.
don't have a specific one.
I can think of a specific one for me. So Bernie, who was like our dog, um, whenever we had a dog growing, it never worked out. It was either like super aggressive, my dad just didn't treat it well, or it just didn't work out ever. So when my dad met my stepmom, they had just gotten Bernie, who was like at this point like maybe 6 or 7 months, like still like a puppy. And my dad, because he has flight benefits, they hadn't seen like their side of the family in Arizona a long time. So my dad put them on a flight to Arizona, and we were like the ones that were like supposed to watch Bernie. At this point, Meredith's like a very clean like woman, very like orderly, very like by the books. And my dad is the complete opposite. So when we brought Bernie over to the house, it was like crate by this time, like doesn't jump on the beds, no furniture, none like no human food, like no none like he's a dog, you know. And they come back, I think maybe like 3 days, 4 days later, and we had absolutely ruined him. Just giving him like all the food, taught him how to go up the stairs. Like Bernie was scared of the stairs, and like they would literally carry him up and down the stairs, and we're like, what? Like, so we taught him how to go up and down the stairs. He loved begging for human food when he started, like when he left us. Started loving human food. Um, wouldn't want to go in his crate anymore. Wanted to sleep on the bed. Yeah, and I think that was one of like my favorite memories is we had this straight edge dog and we totally just ruined it and made him into like this crazy wild dog. And all the hard work that she had put in was like done in like 3 days. It's like pretty much like what I feel like the work Christian put in. Imagine like you drop Olive and Appa off and your parents just ruin it. Like all. That's what we did.
I'd be so mad. But you have one job. They've still never been fed human food or anything.
That's
Even when we're around
crazy.
people, that's why I make sure I was like, oh, I don't care.
Yeah,
You don't do that.
I swear to God, I never have with Appa.
Well, and I was like, even with my parents, so like they love to give human food to their. I'm like, if I find out you give human food to my dog,
Yeah, it's bad.
if we ever have a kid, I won't let you see it. And they're like, okay, fine, we won't feed human food.
What about you with Brady? I believe the boy.
Yeah. I don't know.
Is that the only dog you had growing up?
No, I think we
only
had
remember
one
seeing-
named Bo. I think his name was a golden lab, but it was when I was born and grown up in Vegas. Didn't have him
Okay.
for very long because once we moved to Florida, we had to give him away, just because we didn't have the room for him to be happy and stuff. Um, Yeah, no, lots of different memories. One I can just think of is I was playing Slenderman. Um, it was for like my old YouTube channel. Um, and you know how well I handle scary games, so I was like dying, hyperventilating. And like Brady and like dogs can do that, like they could sense it. And so I'm over there like trying to record and freaking out, and Brady's doing his best to like calm me down. He's going all over me. He's worried about me. I'm like, I know I shouldn't be doing this, but he was always such a good dog.
Yeah.
Always
We liked
looking at
Brady.
me.
Brady was a good dog. Goo Boy. Oh wait, Blue. Yours was just all of them.
That's all of them. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Goo Boy says, "Howdy, everyone. How exactly do you start with healthy eating? I always find myself defaulting to fast food because it's more often convenient than anything else. If you figure it out, dude, let me know because I don't know. It's hard for me. I have no guardrails. You know, if I want fast food, I will go get it. You know, I'm bad. But since recently getting a freezer and stuff like that, I have been eating at home more. Sure, is eating frozen air fryer food better for me? No, but like, I don't know.
I mean,
A factor too. Like, I still have my factor meals, I guess.
I mean, I go in between being real good about it, struggling with it. It's always fine balance. I
Battle.
think the way to look at it too is just gradual things. Like for me, years and years ago, it literally just started with I just need to stop drinking soda. So that was it. And then after I did that for like a year, I was like, okay, well now maybe I can cut back on this, because at that point it wasn't like a if I do something else, I'm worried I'm going to relapse on soda. At that point, it's like, no, I don't care about soda anymore. So it's not even worried. All right, well now what's the next thing? Maybe like portion sizes or how much I'm eating. For me, I mean, I talk about it, but for me, honestly, big help was Factor, because that's always my thing. What's the most convenient? Having healthy food takes 2 minutes to microwave. Suddenly,
Yeah.
it's easier to make a choice like, well, this is convenient, but I'd argue this
And
is
like,
even more convenient.
it also like gives you healthy food options. Like I would never know how to make like cauliflower rice, like stuff like that. Like I would never go out of my way to make cauliflower rice, but because like it's heated up with it, like, and is like it's like super yummy too. Like I would, if someone was like, "Hey, I'm gonna make cauliflower rice for dinner," I'd be like, "Bleh, no," but like because I just heat it up and I mix it up with my chicken and it's good. Like I've never really had other than when it's like broccoli. Then I'm like, all right, I'm not eating just straight up broccoli with this. Like I'm gonna have to figure out and get creative, which I don't, and I just maybe eat maybe 1 or 2 pieces and drown it in with water.
Forgot to mention the other thing that also initially helped to make like greater strides was intermittent fasting. So setting a window during the day you can eat. So for me, it was like 10 to 6. It was an 8-hour window. Eat all my meals between 10 and 6. Once it's 6 o'clock, I can't eat anything else for the rest of the night. Because for me, when I'm at my weakest is at night. And that's when like you put some in front of me, doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I'm
like
gonna
no
eat it.
guardrails.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a down that. So like for me, knowing that, it was trying to be okay, get everything in and try and fill myself up before I hit the point where I know like suddenly I'm just gonna go off the rails. So it would be like breakfast at 10, have dinner around like 5:30, 5:40, right before 6, and then fitting in all the meals. Suddenly, you don't have as much time, so your body will let you know you're full. So then you just start slowly eating less anyway. And for me, that helped a whole bunch. Just eating smaller meals throughout that little window, and then stopping for me at a certain time was what will help me. I
Mr.
don't do
Westlo.
that anymore, but I did it for a while, and that's what like helped kind of build the
Tolerant, or I guess
yeah
schedule maybe.
yeah like just getting used to it. And so it
Fortitude.
wasn't as yeah. I guess that's the way to put it. Because like there'd be nights where
Like your stomach is like.
well, yeah, you gotta get through the original part, because like part of it too is your stomach sometimes will do that, but also what you have to
It's not
realize is
like.
yeah, like I ate all my meals today. You're not hungry. You're just used to pigging out right now. You're okay. Like tell it that at night, and then what do you know? Like 2 weeks in, suddenly I don't have cravings anymore at night. Claire would be like, "Hey, I'm gonna DoorDash Sonic. Do you want anything?" I would say no. Are you kidding me? Talk about character development. I'd be like, "Give me a large blast." Yeah, but I'd be like, "You know what? No, I
Cheesecake
don't."
blast.
Yeah, now
Well.
currently, like I said, I'm up and down. Currently, right now, if she asked me, I'd go give me a large blast. All right.
Go get me one.
So, like I said, it's.
But
But
see,
the
that's
thing
a
is,
healthy thing. I think that's a healthy way of like battling. Like I
Yeah.
think an unhealthy way is like making yourself feel bad about it and making yourself like down on yourself because you decided to go get that blast. Like I think it's a healthy thing to every now and then do some things.
no,
like
yeah,
that.
for sure. Well, that's the other thing too is don't make it strict. It needs to be a lifestyle change, not a like diet or a fad. So I don't really follow any strict rules. It's just eat pretty well.
Live.
If I want to eat something here or there, yeah, it's not going to kill me. The reason I try to avoid it at night though is because I do end up like gorging myself and then feeling bad, and then I'm like, why did I just do that? I don't even feel good right now. Why did I just do that? And then I do it again. So that's why for me it was just like that was my pain point. So I was like, if I can take care of that, the rest will come way easier, and it did.
Mr. Westlow?
I'm still working on it myself. I think the big thing is making healthy food available to you. That definitely helps. Like when I have like yogurt and frozen fruit in my in my fridge, I'm just like, it's right there. I think the biggest thing that has helped me is freezing shit. Frozen fruit on the go, right there. Boom. If I'm hungry, boom, frozen fruit. Frozen, like a good healthy frozen meal. I know it's very normie choice, but like, dude, I got like a healthy choice cauliflower rice in the fridge. Boom, I'll heat that up for food. Yeah, freezing, having frozen healthy food that's like always available to you is like the biggest thing that has helped me.
Yeah.
That's the one other thing too is just like that, having good food readily available and not having bad food readily available. So like when you go to the grocery store, that's one thing I did. Because like right now, I get down 20 Reese's, but I don't buy Reese's because I know I could do it. So I'll like in my pantry, it looks pretty pathetic. There's not much, but that also means when I'm sitting there and I'm like, I could eat anything right now. All the stuff that I would normally eat and not be happy about, I just don't buy. Mm-hmm. And for me, my little guilty pleasure, always the peanut butter pretzels. Those aren't
with bad. Honey now.
With honey. Damn. And the thing too about these as well is like they fill you up pretty quick. That's the other thing is a lot of stuff I eat, especially when you get sugary stuff, like you'd be surprised how much you just downed and how much you just ate. But like 10 pretzels takes a while for me to get through, and then I'm like, ooh, okay. I like satiated. For a
bit.
I'm like, I'm kind of good. Like, whereas like it's harder to eat a lot of these and just like be like, and it just be like nothing. Whereas like chips or, I try to stop getting stacks, but like sometimes, but like stacks or like anything sugary, like you can just, down them and then be like, what have I done? So that's part of it too. It's just like, not even tempting yourself if it's not there.
We'll have a last question here to wrap up the podcast. We'll get to the last two the next week. Snosbert, would you guys rather fight a full-grown lion once a year or a chicken every time you get in a car?
Oh, I could chicken. I'll probably have some scars on me, but I could beat the shit out of a chicken. Chickens are not as weak as people think they are. Chicken could fuck you up. But
so like, here's my. Oh, go ahead.
But like a full grown, was it lion, tiger? Yeah, I'm dead.
Lion. That's what I'm asking. Like when I hear fight a lion, like is the lion also like in boxing gloves and like he like he's or like
he's got a nice one too. Careful.
Like is like fighting like he kills you and you lose. Like you know what I mean? Like
Game
or
over.
Is fighting like as soon as he like thrashes my back and is about to kill me, the ref's like, all right, time. Like what is the definition of a fight here? So I'm gonna go with the chicken just because I don't get in a car very often already.
That's part of it for me.
So
And worst case, if I'm just feeling lazy, just enter in with like a bite suit. Something you'd have to like against the dog. Like,
Just
what's it gonna
packing
do?
you while you're driving. Just
Yeah. Or
I could prepare for a chicken.
yeah,
you
that's what I
know?
was gonna say. Like bring like a net or even a
How am I supposed to
cage.
prepare for a
Or just kind of
lion,
freaking
man? Like,
yeah. Yeah, I'm catching an L every day of the. I mean, I don't know. It didn't stipulate I can't bring like a gun. In which case,
oh,
how far
true.
away are we starting? Because then maybe I got a chance. Um, just get a little, just mount a turret. I feel pretty good about that. But otherwise, if it's mano a mano, yeah, I'm gonna take the chicken. I'll punt the
all right.
chicken. I don't know.
All right, well, that'll do it for this episode of the GG Over Easy podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed listening. Thank you to all the stands for listening to it live right now. If you want to listen to it live potentially, join on over on the Patreon. The minimum tier is $5, helps out the podcast. Truly is the backbone of it. Thank you guys for listening, reviewing. We will catch you guys next week for episode something. Peace out.
175. Deuces.